Hey everybody, hope everybody is doing well on this awesome day. I am doing well here today. Here on this awesome day, we have sports for you all. And you guys do not want to miss what we got here for our sports updates. So, without further ado, let's get started. College football scores.
Here are the results from college football for Week 3. Baylor defeated Samford by a score of 42-7. Virginia outdid William and Mary by a score of 55-16. Nebraska outdid Houston Christian by a score of 59-7. Alabama defeated Wisconsin by a score of 38-14. Temple was defeated by Oklahoma. The final score was 42-3. Do you want to hear the next 5 games?
Yes.
Maryland outdid Towson by a score of 44-17. Northwestern was beaten by Oregon. The final score was 34-14. Michigan bested Central Michigan by a score of 63-3. Georgia Tech defeated Clemson by a score of 24-21. Auburn overcame South Alabama by a score of 31-15. Want the next 5 games?
Yes.
Missouri beat ULL by a score of 52-10. Cincinnati overcame Northwestern State by a score of 70-0. Missouri State was beaten by SMU. The final score was 28-10. Purdue was defeated by USC. The final score was 33-17. North Texas beat Washington State by a score of 59-10. Want the next 5 games?
Yes.
West Virginia was victorious in overtime against Pittsburgh. The final score was 31-24. Penn State beat Villanova by a score of 52-6. Texas Tech overcame Oregon State by a score of 45-14. Rutgers outdid Norfolk State by a score of 60-10. Michigan State bested Youngstown State by a score of 41-24. Do you want to hear the last 5 games?
Yes.
North Carolina defeated Richmond by a score of 41-6. Tennessee was defeated in overtime by Georgia. The final score was 44-41. Arkansas State was beaten by Iowa State. The final score was 24-16. Texas bested UTEP by a score of 27-10. And Miami bested South Florida by a score of 49-12.
Hey Siri, NFL scores.
Here are the results from the NFL for Week 2. The Texans lost to the Buccaneers yesterday. The final score was 20-19. The Raiders were beaten by the Chargers yesterday. The final score was 20-9. The Bengals bested the Jaguars by a score of 31-27 last Sunday. The Cowboys were victorious in overtime against the Giants last Sunday. The final score was 40-37. The Dolphins lost to the Patriots last Sunday. The final score was 33-27. Do you want to hear the next 5 games?
Yes.
The Jets were defeated by the Bills last Sunday. The final score was 30-10. The Lions outdid the Bears by a score of 52-21 last Sunday. The Ravens defeated the Browns by a score of 41-17 last Sunday. The Saints lost to the 49ers last Sunday. The final score was 26-21. The Steelers were defeated by the Seahawks last Sunday. The final score was 31-17. Want the next 5 games?
Yes.
The Titans were beaten by the Rams last Sunday. The final score was 33-19. The Cardinals defeated the Panthers by a score of 27-22 last Sunday. The Colts outdid the Broncos by a score of 29-28 last Sunday. The Chiefs were defeated by the Eagles last Sunday. The final score was 20-17. The Vikings were beaten by the Falcons last Sunday. The final score was 22-6. And the Packers overcame the Commanders by a score of 27-18 last Thursday.
Hey Siri, lock my screen. And ladies and gentlemen, that is our sports. What an amazing sports it was, as we had a lot of teams kick some butt. And let me tell you, that game last night with the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Houston Texans, wow, that game was crazy, as it was 6 minutes to go in the quarter, and the Texans ended up losing by a touchdown by the Texans. The 2-point conversion was no good, And then it was all over as the Texans win. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, you guys that have some vision, if you guys can see, my haircut is shorter and my beard is trimmed. So that is good news there. So happy about that. Happy about that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, keep comments appropriate and respectful. I'm OUT out of here. That is our sports update. I would actually like to correct myself about the Texans game and the Tampa Bay Bucks game. The Bucks win 20-19. So I would like to just correct that so you guys know that the Texans lost actually. Thanks for watching, as I mentioned.